You've worked with some of the best directors in the business, one of them being the great Peter Jackson for the Frighteners. Had you heard of him before that? I mean, he
Oh
had
my
some good films
God.
out, but this was his first big budget film, right?
I mean, Heavenly Creatures. The day I got to the set, I walked up to Peter and I said, Peter, promise me you'll get me as good a performance as you got her. I mean, he's such an enigma. You know, his early films are so weird, if you've seen any of them. And then Heavenly Creatures, and then The Frighteners. I just, when they sent me the audition, and yes, I did still have to audition for it. I just went, oh my God, I have to get this part, because I love that she went from this simpy little character with no strength to this mass murderer, right? And I got to play all those delicious things in between. Peter, a dream to work with, a beautiful man, beautiful person. I love him. And Fran, his partner. You know, my husband passed away while I was on the set shooting. So I was back and forth between half the world 4 times in 2 weeks. And seriously didn't know whether I was coming or going. And so I said, well, I don't know how I can afford to go back for my husband's. Don't worry, Dee. You just get on the plane. We'll settle up at the end. So I went in to settle up, and here come the tears. That's why I'm an actress, David. And the bookkeeper looked at me and said, oh no, this is Peter's gift to you, Dee. He really never thought you'd ever come back.
Oh, wow.
But my mother taught me a good work ethic. And she said, when you take a job, you finish it no matter what.
Did the work continuing the work onward? You know, did you find that, was that cathartic any way, or was it just, you're just going through the motions at that point? How do you?
Oh no, I think I did
loss?
some of my best work after I got back there. I was so raw. I had no defenses about anything. And the first scene we had to shoot was me seeing Michael J. Fox get hit, die, and then fall to the floor. And I was so far gone that I saw Michael get hit, but by the time he got to the floor, it was Chris. It was so weird. They, you know, they're very big into alternative medicine in New Zealand and Australia. And they took me to this amazing body worker that realigned all my chakras and put stones on me. And, you know, I had started my healing work around that time, but I was not introduced to any of the stones and things like that. And I'm telling you, I walked in there like a dead mummy, and I walked out with my energy renewed. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And so I came back here and found a lot of healers in LA. And started really, really, really delving into energy work and studying energy. And so, yeah, you can say that was big turning point in my life because, as you know, I have a healing practice now across the world.
In playing Patricia Bradley, a mentally ill character, essentially inspired by Caril Ann Fugate, I presume you initially probably had to do something to prepare for the role, but then did the passing of your husband then kind of, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, give you what to draw from that point forward, or
No,
were you drawing from something else entirely?
I wasn't drawing from anything. I was being Patricia. That's how I work. I don't work from here. If I start working from here, I'm dead. And I learned this technique, and it is a technique that you have to master from Charles Conrad. And it's based on really high energy, David. You have to get your energy really, really high and then throw your energy. Like I'll show you, you'll be able to feel it. So I'm pulling my energy back. I'm looking at you, but I'm pulling my energy back. Now I'm throwing my energy through the camera to you. Can you feel it?
So it's just part of it is where you're coming from, more here, I guess, right?
What you do when you do that is you open up a channel. So I learned to channel in my acting. And then when I started to channel in my healing, I went, oh my God, I've been doing this all my life and I didn't know it was the same thing. I'm telling you, well, I'll give you an example of what happened to me in Charles' class. Okay, how Charles conducted his classes was you would get a piece of material, you would not know where it was from, what it was about, anything. If you got a piece of material that you knew, you were to hand it back in and get another piece of material. You were to read it one time. That's it. And then you would get your energy up, you would throw your energy, connect with your partner. So I started this scene and I was like 6 or 7 lines into it, and he stopped. He said, Dee Wallace, stop. You know you're not supposed to do a scene, I thought the wrath of God had hit me, I went, Charles, I swear to you, I don't know this piece. I don't even know. I don't know what it's from. I don't know what it's about. And he said, it's about a woman who's crippled and you're limping. Why are you limping if you don't know the scene? We saw stuff like that happen all the time, every week. It was magical, and for me, it was freeing. It made acting free for me because, when I had to write a theme in high school, they'd want you to do the note cards and they'd want you to do the Post-its and they want, none of that shit ever worked for me, ever. So my mother, God love her, would sit up at 9, 10, 11 o'clock typing my theme for me that I had just written because I had to channel it. I had to just sit down and do it. The more, I can come to the end of a street and go, okay, well, there's the sun, there's the mountains. Well, it's got to be right. It's always left, David. When I try to figure stuff out, it's always the other way. So I never broke down anything in ET. I just knew that this was a mother who loved her kids, right? And was frantically trying to work and raise a family at the same time. I grew up with a mom like that. But did I base this on my mom? No. But I knew it in my psychology, in my energy. I knew it.